Welcome back. Now, the Deputy Speaker of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, Godiya Akwashiki, has denied the allegations by the 6 suspended lawmakers that the leadership of the House received money from the government to approve the appointment of sole administrators. The allegation by the 6 lawmakers who were asked to embark on an indefinite suspension resulted in a physical altercation that you're seeing now on the screen within the chamber of the State House of Assembly. Meanwhile, one of the 6 suspended lawmakers told journalists that they are seeking redress in court. The suspension is to be effected without allowances and half salaries, and the House has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the allegations and to report in 1 month's time.
It's a normal process as far as the institution of lawmaking in every state and even the National Assembly is concerned, because this is an institution where you disagree in order to agree. At times, even in enacting law for peace, order, and good governance, at times we say we kill the law when it reaches the second reading. So when you are trying to kill the law, you must disagree in order to agree. That anything that is not in the better interest, you kill the law. And let me also tell you, the Assembly is a place or institution whereby public opinion, the majority votes count. So what has happened today, I want to believe, is a normal process as far as the lawmaking institution is concerned. So it's the first time. And as a lawmaker, I will request that the video or the clip of any person that said we were bribed should be tendered before this House. And I want to assure you that this House will not dust the issue on ground, that we are going to deep onto the issue to make sure to ascertain the true position of what happened.
The Cross River State and Central Senatorial District has held a one-day empowerment summit for youth with a promise of effective representation. The summit focused on exposing the over 5,000 youth that participated on tips on how to develop their inherent talent for self-empowerment rather than relying on white-collar jobs to make ends meet.
Youths across different local government areas of Cross River State that make up the Central Senatorial District are gathered at Ecom local government area of the state for a summit on being self-sufficient.
To this all-important meeting,
with different mindsets, upbringing, aspirations and desires, these ones have a common challenge, one of which is how to fund their education or start up a business, and the guest speaker suggests developing a passion for excellence as a way out.
We don't want to spend time learning how just to be good enough. We're here this afternoon because we want to develop it. That means we may not have it at all, or we have it to a degree, but want to take it to that point where excellence becomes our nature.
Since the last general elections, this gathering afforded the youth the opportunity to meet one-on-one with the representatives of the Senate. He advises them to take advantage of the knowledge gained here and promise to play his part.
If you elect your lawmaker and allow him or her run in the next 4 years, blame yourself more than you blame him. I'm not interested in big, mighty things. I'm interested in small, little things that can add value and can add excitement to people's lives. There are various forms of assistances and interventions that will be needed. There are times that people don't even have money to register for WAEC. As basic as that. There are times that people can't even pay for a JAM form, and therefore they can't even have a chance to go to the university.
Participants of the summit say they now have a different mindset.
A lot of people have forgotten why or what they need to do at one point or the other. So if we have the understanding of what we need to do, we won't depend on politics. Therefore, we can go diversified in order to sustain a living.
We need to change our inner self than relying on the government to change us. And today I want to say that I've benefited a lot. The scope of my reasoning has expanded.
They also pray that government and their representative keep their side of the bargain by actualizing all campaign promises made at the last election.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission has drawn attention to the need to establish an election offences tribunal as a means of checking the growing spate of electoral violence in the country. The chairman of the country's electoral body, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, made his position known during a meeting to discuss elections in Nigeria organized by a group of civil society.
But how do we deal with violence in our elections? What reforms do we intend to introduce to stem the tide? What mechanisms can we put in place? I agree with the proposition that INEC needs to go back to the drawing board and review our security architecture jointly with the security agencies. But more importantly, what has been our response as a nation to similar occurrence in the past? Committees were set up, but what happens to the reports of the committees? For instance, West Report 2008 proposed, among other recommendations, the establishment of the Electoral Offences Commission and Tribunal to penalize electoral offenders. Nothing was done about it. 3 years later, the nation experienced harrowing post-election violence. The Lemu Committee was set up, and it reinforced the recommendation of the West Committee on Electoral Offences Tribunal. The white paper on the Lemu report accepted the recommendation, and the Attorney General at the time was directed to take steps to establish the tribunal. This is yet to be implemented. A nation that does not punish violators of its own laws is doomed to be repeating its own misfortunes instead of making steady progress.
And that's it for this edition of News Across Nigeria, where we tell you and we show you what's happening now across the Nigerian Federation. Many thanks for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay.